Ay, 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 ay.
Alright guys, how's it going? I'm the Crown Clown, and today we're doing What If Deku Was Demifiend, Part 3. Now, before we get started, just gotta ask you guys a few quick questions. If you guys enjoy this content, I would appreciate it if you guys would like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And even if YouTube is being wonky, just follow me on Twitter. I will post out the link whenever the videos go live, so that way you will absolutely never miss an upload. And on top of that, join the Discord, where I'll also be telling you guys exactly when the video's live. So if you don't have Twitter, you can join the Discord. But please consider joining both, because sometimes those people who follow Twitter get the tie-breaking vote, because Discord voted for Ibarra and YouTube voted for May. So we had to do a tiebreaker, and Twitter is the people that broke the tie. So with Ibarra having 2 platform votes to 1, Ibarra will be the ship for Demifiend Deku, but don't you guys fear, Mei Hatsumi will be a ship in potentially another series that's currently ongoing. Who knows? Maybe you guys should just stay tuned to find out on that one. But Shinzo's ship is Mina. There was no need to do a tiebreaker vote. Everyone unanimously voted for Mina to go with Shinzo, so that will be the ship for this. And finally, before we get into here, I just want to address people about the quirks, because apparently that's causing some confusion. So whenever I say that quirks are more powerful this time and people think that still applies, that the drawbacks are equal, they're not. The way quirks evolved in this is that since they're stronger and more evolved, like by centuries compared to where it is in canon, drawbacks have become less and less of a thing. Meaning Kaminari doesn't go stupid. So, just let you guys know, Kaminari in this, he doesn't get that huge ass drawback that he had in canon, so he's a lot more powerful. That's the key word in all of this, is everyone's quirks are a lot more powerful, and the drawbacks are less and less. So, I hope I cleared that up for you guys. I hope you guys, if you have any more questions, comment. I'll do my best to clear them up in the comments, but hey, let's get on with this. So, where we last left off, it was the Heroes vs. Villain events, and All Might literally just got his whole career just reverse Uno'd by Shinzo after he told Deku to become a villain. Deku healed everybody that he'd beaten, and basically Shinzo beat Todoroki for summoning Phoenix. So, Deku also laid into everybody, telling them that, they're just fakers right now. They have no semblance of wanting to get out of here or do anything with their lives. They're just faking it all the way through. They don't know what the real world's going to be like. They don't know what Hero Society is actually like, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's literally a thunderstorm that never ends. Sure, you have sometimes where the rain's a little bit less, but most of the time, the thunder, it's there. It's here to stay. You hit the lightning, the heavy rain, the typhoons, all that shit. That's Hero Society. And he just laid into everybody. So, with that out of the way, let's pick up right where we left off with their response to Deku. So, the response to Deku is literally just that, what does he know? How does he know all of this? And Deku just points to Bakugo and says, he showed me that. The adults that were supposed to reprimand him showed me that. The police and the doctors, they showed me that. All because if you have a great quirk and it's promising, you can get away with just about anything. So, that's Hero Society. It's unfair, it's unjust, it's completely bullshit, and he's gotten away with so much, and yet I'm the one that always gets reprimanded for shit. But now that I'm stronger, let's see if I still get away with that shit. Probably not, because in the past I was deemed worthless and quirkless, and hell, if things would have kept on going like that, I would have just been able to be killed and no one would have gave a damn. So, I don't want to hear from all your guys' mouths saying, oh this, oh that, when you haven't been through the same shit I have. How can you ever understand my pain? You guys would have to walk 1,000,000 miles in my shoes to even make one day of what I've been through. I don't give a damn about any of you. Don't forget that. The only person I care about is the person right here at my back. This dude, he's been my brother for a while now. Like, we share the same power, we share the same gifts. Like, honestly, we've even had similar experiences in our lives. So, honestly, you guys, you don't mean shit. I'll always have this man's back. So, that out of the way, move the fuck on and let me go get changed. And people are just like, yo, what the hell's wrong with him? And Aizawa just tells them, he's right. You guys don't understand the first thing about being heroes. If you did, you would have looked at what All Might did with great contempt. You would have seen what Bakugo did as something that should have been appalling. After all, you guys want to know his backstory? You guys want to know what happened to him? I'll tell you. I'll read off the records right here. And that's when Nezu steps in and says, no, I don't think you will. After all, these two are about to be expelled, and basically, Aizawa steps up and just says, no, they're not. And I'm not taking orders from you. After all, you're nothing but a failed little mascot. And Nezu's like, excuse me? The fuck you mean? And Aizawa gets right up in his face, and he lifts him up, and he says, if you're expelling those two, then you're firing me. And I don't give a damn. I'm not letting you push me around anymore, you little mouse bitch. Understand this. Just because you have it out for somebody doesn't mean anything. As basically Nezu says, I guess we should try to do this fairly so that way there's no complaining whenever somebody gets off to a bad start. I'll erase those first 2 marks from his record. This will be his first mark, but Bakugo's record stays clean. Understand? And everyone hears that and they're just like, wait a minute, hold on. There's no way in hell his record should be kept clean. And basically, Nezu looks at Shinzo and tells him, Shinzo, this will be your first mark as well. 3 marks, you're out. Do I make myself clear? And Shinzo's just like, whatever, fucking Mickey Mouse reject. And basically Nezu just says, I am not a cartoon mouse. Understand me, boy? And Shinzo just says, whatever, get the fuck out of here. And Nezu's just like, oh great, we have another disobedient brat. Oh well, I'm pretty sure after the USJ, you'll be alright. And everyone's just kind of looking just like, what's going to happen at the USJ? And Aizawa just says, what are you scheming, you fucking mouse? And Nezu just says, Aizawa, starting today, you are relieved of your duties as a teacher. You are fired. Do I make myself clear? Aizawa just says, whatever. I was about to quit on you anyway, you fucking bitch. And he says, you know what? Since I'm not a teacher anymore, he literally just slams Nezu's head into the concrete and punts him like a fucking football. As Nezu's just like, I ought to have you arrested. And Aizawa just says, you can try it. As he just walks out the front gate. As he just says that he's sorry. But he will be watching them with great interest. And basically after that, Deku and Shinzo walk home. But they're not going to Shinzo's house or Deku's house. Oh no. They're going to see Lucifer. Because Deku's had enough of Nezu. And he's about to just end that whole man's career once and for all. Because when Lucifer hears about the type of shit that Nezu's pulling, like, he's just not even gonna be for it. He's just gonna be like, yeah, go ahead, I'll help you. But yeah, so they get to Lucifer, and Deku starts to tell Lucifer everything that's happened, and Lucifer, he's listening with great interest, and he's just like, don't worry about it. Tell me, when is that USJ incident supposed to be happening? And Deku tells him, like, in a few days. at the most, and Lucifer says, "Don't worry, I've got you. I've got your back, my boy. Just enjoy your life, don't worry about him. Don't cause any more issues. He'll be handled and dealt with." And Deku's just like, "Okay, that's a bit morbid, but whatever, Dad." And basically, when Deku leaves, Shinzo stays and says, "I have to talk to you about a different type of situation." And basically, Lucifer says, "Yes, I needed to talk to you as well." And basically, Shinzo's just like, "What? What do you mean?" As Lucifer says, "Yeah, somebody else has that demon summoning app, and I didn't bestow it upon them. I didn't think anyone would be stupid enough to do this, but I found out who gave it to them." And he's like, "Okay, and who gave it to them?" And Lucifer says, "That fucking bitch Metatron, meddling with my affairs once again. Apparently he saw how I was creating a Demifiend, and then I gave you the demon summoning app. So he went out of his way to give his version of the app to somebody else. It's a pain in the ass, but just be careful. Apparently they'll be able to spot you and know, because people who have the app tends to be able to figure out who else has the app. So be careful. I don't know if they're a student like you, or they're a villain, pro-hero. I don't know. Just watch yourself." And I'm not going to reveal who has the app, but I want you guys to comment in the section below down there. Who do you think has the app? Who do you think Metatron bestowed his app upon? Let me know down in the comment section below, because I am really curious to know. So, with that out of the way, Deku and Shinzo, they go to sleep, they wake up, they head back to school, they just don't cause any trouble. They stay silent. Like, the best way for them to not cause any trouble is to not open their mouths. And people think that Nezu finally, made them submit. No, because in Deku's eyes, there's a burning rage going on inside of him. He's not about to be outdone or anything stupid like that by some fucking Mickey Mouse bitch reject. So, he's honestly just chilling. He's biding his time. And as soon as he's able to realize when the USJ is happening, he texts Lucifer that it's happening this Friday. So, all the way up till Friday, Deku and Shinzo are just honing their skills outside of school. They're practicing with Lucifer. So now Shinzo, he has a lot more demons now. And he's about to just whip out the biggest, gnarliest fuck you to everybody. And Deku, he actually manages to get everything he needs to fusion summon Alice, one of the most powerful demons in all of Shin Megami Tensei. So, what does he do? He waits. He's not going to fusion summon her right now, not with anybody around. But at the same time, he does realize that he will have to be around here to fuse her. So, he has to pick and choose when he wants to fuse her. But anyway, the day has finally arrived, and Shinzo has a few new additions to his team. So, Shinzo's new additions to his whole team is actually going to be, for one, he has Anubis. So, yes, Shinzo has managed to fusion Anubis, and I'm going with the Persona 5 version of Anubis because it's a lot lower of a level and it's around Shinzo's age gap. So, Shinzo's able to fusion summon up to level 40, and, Deku, he's all the way up to fucking level 80. Yeah. So, comment down below. Give me a list of recommendations that you would want Deku to have for a total of 5 high-level demons. Comment down below. But Shinzo's second new addition and his final newest addition is Shiki Oji. So, yes, think about that giant papier-mâché looking dude. That's actually pretty strong. Yeah. And you have him. So, basically, they're set. Now, the whole deal coming is that the USJ, it's happening right now. So Deku, as soon as he gets on the bus with Shinzo, which Deku has to wear his same fucking sports festival attire because Bako kind of just blew his shit up. And Shinzo, he's just wearing like an all black outfit. So, yeah. Anyways, so they're on the bus. Deku texts Lucifer, and Lucifer says, "Don't worry, I got it. Just enjoy your time now." And Lucifer's waiting because he can sense something's amiss, something's on the rise. And he texts Deku and Shinzo to be careful. He feels something disturbing in the area. And Deku's pretty much just like, okay, I understand. So basically, Deku and Shinzo are on high alert because if Lucifer says he feels something amiss, that means something's going to happen. They get to the USJ, and as soon as they open up the doors, Deku and Shinzo don't see anything out of the ordinary, but they're still on guard. And the new teacher that's taken over is Midnight. So Midnight's the new homeroom teacher for Last 1A, and she can feel that these two guys are tense and that they're the strongest two in this entire class. So they're honestly kind of worried now, and Midnight can see the visible worry and stress that's on their faces, and she says, "Hold on a minute," as she calls Deku and Shinzo over to her, not wanting to alarm the whole class if it's just them feeling nervous, but she honestly doubts that that's the reason. And they tell her that they kind of feel like there's something about to happen, and Midnight just says, "Okay, hold on," as she goes in there and tells the rest of the class to stay out while her 13, Deku, and Shinzo are inside. And as soon as they enter, the doors shut behind them and lock. There's no getting out, as Ida's just like, what just happened? And everyone's kind of just freaking out as Todoroki just says, "Move," as he tries to hit it with his fucking fire, because after losing to a Phoenix, like, Todoroki's not the type that's just gonna let that go. Now, he's pretty much pissed, and if some of his friends, well, not friends yet, but classmates are in there, he's not gonna worry about his own petty grievances against his fireside. He's gonna let that shit loose. And he tries to melt the door. It's taken a while, but it's slowly starting to melt. And Midnight notices this and tells them to get out of here now. And Deku says, yeah, not happening. After all, if it's just villains, we so got this, right, Shinzo? Shinzo just says, yeah, if you're not wanting to fight, just go ahead, sit back and relax. We got this. Because they're just seeing the fodder guys for right now. But Kurogiri, Shigaraki, and Nomu warp in, and Deku's just like, okay, this might be a bit more troublesome. But, hey, we shouldn't have that much of a problem, right? Shinzo says, no. As he summons out Phoenix. As Phoenix is just like, I understand. And he summons out Anubis. And for the final one, he summons out Shinji Oji as, or Shiki Oji. And basically, they're just like, alright. So, Deku, on the other hand, he summons out Cerberus. And only Cerberus. Because he doesn't feel like any of his other demons need to come out. And Cerberus is his favorite, but he hears a voice saying, hey, are you just going to leave me out on the sidelines again? As Deku says, what? No, of course not. I was about to call you. And she says, sure. Call me out now. And Deku says, alright, come on out, Succubus. As Succubus emerges and Midnight's just like, the fuck? As Succubus just looks at Midnight and just says, oh, what's wrong? You're afraid? Don't be. After all, I'm his. As she wraps herself around Deku's arm, and Deku says, are you here to flirt or are you here to fight? And she says, ooh, so cold yet so tough. very well, I'll fight, but you owe me after this. And Deku just says, you are the one who made a contract with me. You do as I say. Understood? And Succubus says, oh, what? You're not gonna show me any attention, affection? Deku says, not the point. Help me fight these guys. Understood? And Succubus says, understand. So Succubus immediately just starts pouring out fucking lightning magic on them. She does her fucking charming a lot of them. As Cerberus, he's just going down there and tearing them to pieces. Deku's just running through there, walking through everyone's attacks. Because yes, Deku nullifies all attacks. It doesn't matter what type it is. The only thing that could potentially even remotely hurt Deku is a gun. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of that happening. Because even a gunshot wouldn't really kill him. It wouldn't even really hurt him all that much. And since he has healing, like, he's pretty much untouchable at this point. So basically, he's walking down, his eyes flashing yellow, and basically, Kurigiri tries to separate all the demons away from that, but they just disappear and reappear right next to him, and he realizes, yeah, I can't do anything about that. And Shigaraki just says, then teleport the caster somewhere else. And he's like, oh, right. So he teleports Shinzo way the fuck off somewhere. And Kurigiri says, yeah, I'm not about to try it with that one, pointing at Deku. And Deku just, smart move, you would have died. As he just says, divine shot, as he shoots it out. Basically, Nomu has to jump in the way, and he takes the hit, but yeah, half of Nomu's blown clean off. And Shigaraki's just like, what the fuck is this kid? But during all of that, Nezu's in his office as basically Lucifer appears behind him, and he just says, so, you're the bastard who keeps making things difficult for my boy and his friend. I would appreciate it if you would leave him the fuck alone and let him do as he pleases. As Nezu just says, who the fuck are you to try to order me? As Lucifer just says, wrong answer. Orochi. Which, if you guys don't know who Orochi is basically just like a snake with 10 heads. So you can see where this is going. As Nezu just screams out as Orochi tears him to pieces, eating him, tearing his arm off, his legs, his head into several different pieces. Basically, they're just tearing him apart, eating his guts, his organs, everything. There's nothing left of Nezu except a bloodstain, as Orochi fades and Lucifer vanishes. By the time anyone gets into there to see what's happening, all they see is blood everywhere, and Nezu is nowhere to be seen. And they're wondering, what happened? How could somebody have gotten in here? We need to set this school on high alert. Cancel the USJ attack. And that's just whenever they realize that they can't get through to them. So all of the pro heroes are marching out there, heading down as Todoroki is getting so close to breaking down the door and melting it fully. And honestly, he just says, okay, fuck this, as he hits it with ice right there where it's starting to melt. And then he just punches right through it, as he just says, alright, we should be able to get through here now. As Kirishima says, yeah, some of us, not all of us, dude. Like, seriously, that hole's not big enough for every single one of us to go through. And basically, he just says, have any better ideas? As Sato tells Kirishima to help him out. So, Kirishima says, yeah. They activate their hardening, well, Kirishima does, and Sato activates his sugar rush mode. And they just start wailing on the door, beating it in. And eventually it flies off the hinges. Not a very far distance, but close enough. As they just see, like, Deku in Midnight 13 all kicking ass. And since 13 was never hit with the whole Kurigiri attack, like, she's still able to help a lot. And she is. Because Kurigiri's not wanting to go near anybody that's near Deku. Because he knows Deku will fuck him up immensely. And honestly, like, he starts going in a little bit harder as Midnight tries to take on Shigaraki, as he tries to really hurt her, but with her pheromone attacks, like, it's getting to Shigaraki a lot. But basically, Kirigiri warps them out of there as Nomu's still trying to fight Deku, but it notices it's not doing anything to him. Nomu's getting scared, terrified even. It's wanting to run away, but its orders are compulsively telling it to fight, fight, fight. Because it hears All For One in its head. And yes, All For One can talk to the Nomus telepathically. It's been specified in the manga that he can do that. That's how he gives the Nomu all their orders. So, yes, Nomu is being controlled by All For One remotely as he's forced to fight Deku against his own will, but he has to follow the orders because he's scared of All For One as much as he is of Deku, so he really just has to pick his poison, and since All For One created him, he has to fight Deku. And Deku's just like, alright, I've had enough of this. As he just punches him so hard in the stomach, it tears him in half. As he tells Cerberus it's snack time, as Cerberus gets on him and starts tearing at the Nomu's flesh, eating it, and setting it on fire to cook its flesh even more so he can have a more delicious meal. And basically he's just like, yep, attaboy, Cerberus, attaboy. But then he decides that, you know what? Why just have one of my beasts have in here whenever there's another one that's just as hungry? And who he's talking about, for those of you who've seen the Devil Survivor 2 anime, it's pronounced Byakko in there, but in the actual games, like Baihu. So it's whichever word you want to actually use, like, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to just call him Byakko because that was the only anime deal. So, yeah, more people know him by Byakko. Basically, it's the tiger that has the lightning. So, yeah, it starts out there and it starts tearing into Nomu as well, just eating him. And before too long, like, Cerberus and Byakko, they've torn him to pieces. So, yeah, that's how that is. And basically, that's a pretty good ending right there. So, yeah. Well, I'm not ending this episode yet, but, you know, it's a good ending to the USJ. So, by the time the pro heroes get there, like, Deku and Shinzo, because Shinzo, he was off on his own just burning motherfuckers to death, taking over their minds. So, yeah, Shinzo, he really came out of there unscathed. It's everyone just sees Shinzo appear, and Shinzo just says, hey, where the fuck were you at? You were supposed to be looking for me. And Deku's just like, I told Succubus to, and Succubus says, I'm not leaving your side to go look for another man. That's out of the question. And Deku says, okay, how are you going to act whenever I get a girlfriend? As Succubus says, no, not allowed. And Deku just says, watch me, woman. As Succubus just says, why are you so defiant against me? And Deku says, why are you so thirsty? And Succubus says, I'm not thirsty, I'm horny, there's a difference. And Deku is literally the same thing. As Succubus says, I don't care what you humans call it, just know that you owe me tonight. As Deku says, I most certainly do not. As he just, like, tells her to be gone. So she disappears mid-sentence. And basically, everyone's just now realizing how strong Deku and Shinzo actually are. Because not only did they take on all the villains in here with only the help of 2 pros, but they came out without a scratch on them. Like, no one could touch them. This is kind of insane for them to really consider because it's just too mind-blowing. How? But Deku just says, get stronger. That's all you gotta do. Not that you'll ever reach me, though. If anyone is anywhere near close enough to reaching me, it would honestly just be Shinzo. But even then, he's got nothing on me. Shinzo just says, yeah, I could never reach him. But, yeah. That's how that's ending, and they head on back to school. And everyone's just kind of like, okay, so what now? As the school says the principal's been killed. And Deku's just like, hot damn, somebody actually killed the fuck? As Shinzo's just like, dude, I don't think you should be so happy about that. And Deku's like, what? It's no secret I hated the little furry bastard. And basically everyone's just like, so you killed him. And Deku says, think with your fucking head a minute. How can I kill him whenever I was fighting villains? As everyone thinks like, you could have just summoned one of your demons to do it. As Deku just says, that's not how that works. They have to be near me to be summoned. As they're just like, oh, that's how that works. Deku says, the fuck did you think, you fucking morons? I don't have complete and total control over them to send them anywhere around the whole fucking world. Get real for a minute here. This is fucking insane, you dumbasses. And they're just like, okay, calm down. And they're like, no, you're accusing me of being a murderer. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. And Midnight says, you know, we really don't need you to be this whole attitude thing. It's not really helping things. As Deku says, how would you feel if they were accusing you of being the murderer? And Midnight says, fair point, fair point. And Shinzo just tells everyone to shut up. What's done is done. We can't really just change it now. Just accept it and move on. And Deku says, but I'm having a celebration party tonight. And they're just like, so wait, you're throwing a party tonight? And Deku's like, oh, so now you guys want to be my friends. Now that I'm throwing a party. Well, tough luck, because, yeah, none of you schmucks are invited whatsoever. Just so you know. And they're just like, oh, come on, man. Like, really? And Deku's like, yes, really. You guys think that you guys get the fuck around and just, like, hate on me? And then, oh, all of a sudden I'm throwing a party and every one of you guys want to be my best friends? Get the fuck up out of here. Shinzo's the only one invited. But I'll let whoever Shinzo wants to invite come. And Shinzo says, hey, Mina, do you want to come? And Mina's like, sure. So, yeah, and basically, like, Deku says, you know what? I'm going to invite all of Class 1B to my party. Just so you guys feel inferior to that class. I don't even know who's in it, to be honest, but they invited. And Deku just says, I'll be right back, Teach. And she's like, no, sit down. And Deku just out of the door. He walks right across the hall, kicks in the door, and says, hello. And Blood looks at them, and he's just like, Class 1A student, what are you doing here? Weren't you just, like, had attacked by the villains at USJ? And Deku's like, yes, but nobody's left the school yet, and we just got back, but it's fine. I handled that situation. No biggie. As Midnight comes in there, and Blood says, Midnight, this man just says he handled villains. Is he telling the truth? As Midnight says, yes, that is true. He did handle a good majority of them, including a very strong one. And he's like, huh, I see. Where was All Might? And Midnight says, All Might's doing press cleanup with the whole PR thing about him telling this guy to, and well, I was like, oh, that's the student. And everyone's just looking at him and they say, what's up with all the markings on your body? As Deku says, oh, it's a part of my power. Demonic. As this girl with long green hair that kind of looks like Vine stands up and says, you're cursed with demonic power. I shall say a prayer for you. And Deku says, oh, no. Hold on a minute here. No need to say a prayer for me, woman. As he says, although you are very cute. Do you have a boyfriend? What's your name? Can I get your number? And she just says, Deku says, never mind. You'll be at my party tonight anyway. As she's like, what, party? And Deku says, oh yeah, I came over here to invite all of Class 1B to my party. Class 1A is full of a lot of assholes, so I really didn't want to invite them, because they've just been hating on me since day one. So to make them feel inferior, I'm inviting all you guys. You guys want to come? Like, no need to bring anything. I'll supply everything my own. And yeah, it'll be an awesome party. Like, come on now, join. As Monoma just says, a chance to show up, Class 1A. I accept your invitation. As Deku says, okay, I like the energy, but turn down the flamboyancy. As Monoma just says, what? Why? As Deku just says, you kind of sound like a fucking jackass right now. Turn it down a notch. Be normal. Okay? As Monoma's just like, very well, I shall act normal. And basically, like, everyone in Class 1B says, well, it's high school, right? We're supposed to go to parties and such. Blood says, well, you guys will have time. Since the principal's dead, you guys get an extra long weekend. Till we can find a suitable replacement. Like, yeah, you guys will be kicked out of school for a while. So, go party, enjoy yourselves. And basically, Kendo asked Deku if she can invite some people from Class 1A, as she is friends with Momo in this. Like, the whole deal with Kendo and Momo is that they've grown up together around the same schools, elementary. They went through middle school for like half of the year, but they kind of just fell off after that. Now they're in different classes. So Deku says it depends on who it is. As she says, I want to invite Momo Yaoyorozu. As he says, okay, I don't have a problem with her. And basically, like, Blood says, can you guys talk about this after school? I'm still trying to teach a class here. It's Midnight just says, come on, let's go back. You're making me look like an idiot. As Deku just says, oh, well, I do what I want. Like, I don't need no one's approval. And Blood just says, you know, you got a pretty big mouth on you, kid. As Deku just says, really? As he starts pulling out his mouth, like, open it, trying to give a measurement, he's like, oh, seems pretty normal to me. As everyone just starts laughing, and pretty much Blood's just getting angrier and angrier, and like Deku's just like, oh yeah, by the way, like, any attack you could try, it's pretty much useless. Like, unless you got a gun and shoot me, but I mean, anything else, it ain't gonna stand a chance. I'm just gonna tell you that now. And feeling hostility in the air towards Deku, like, Cerberus and Byakko just immediately come out, and everyone's just like, what the hell? As Deku says, oh yeah, that's my power, I can summon demons. As basically Ibarra's just like, demons? You're a demon summoner. As Deku's like, yes, you know of them? As Ibarra says, yes, it's still taught at my church, like the ancient arts of demon summoning. Honestly, nobody at my church does it, but it's astonishing to know that it's still used. As Deku says, yeah, it's kind of built into my DNA at this point. And she's like, yours is built in, you don't have to use the app. As Deku says, no, pretty not. No. As she looks over his markings and just says, I get it, I know who you are. It's been centuries, but you're him, aren't you? The man who went toe-to-toe with Lucifer. The man who saved the world from destruction, who gave it a reset. The first time. As Deku's just like, hold on a second here, hold on a minute here. You have me confused with the other one. I'm not him. He died a long time ago. I'm the second one. As everyone's looking around saying, second of what? We have no idea what you two are going on about. And Deku just looks at them and says, I'm the secondary devil fiend. Not devil, Demifiend. As they're just like, a demi what now? Deku says, Demifiend. Half human, half demon. What's so hard about that? Honestly, people, what is so hard to know about me being fucking Demifiend? Like, it's literally in the name. Demi, half. Fiend, demon. Half demon. Come on now. Really? As they're just like, okay, how are you half demon? Deku says, that's none of your business. And basically, Shinzo just says, come on, man. Like, seriously? And they're just like, wait, who are you? And he sees Cerberus and Byakko out, and he's like, God, you summoned your demons? Really? The fuck is wrong with you? As basically Deku says, I didn't summon them, they appeared on their own. And he's like, you're losing control of your own demons? Really? As Byakko and Cerberus just say, we came out because he was acting hostile towards our master. If he backs down, so will we. And everyone's looking at Blood, and Blood says, fine, I'll back down. But that's where I'm leaving it off. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I've been the Crown Clown. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.